I'm Dale Lawrence. Welcome to the Travel Show. Thanks for joining us for this brand new series of weekly travel programs designed to showcase the very best of travel and tourism in Thailand and the ASEAN region. Now we're here at the ASEAN e-Travel Mart. It's an event being organized by the Bangkok-based Tourism Technology Association with the support of ASEAN. Now this is essentially a business-to-business event, but what's being discussed here has implications for every single traveller and tourist. And that's because e-commerce is affecting and influencing the way that we plan our business and our leisure travel. More and more of us are now booking flights, selecting hotels, choosing complete holiday packages from a wide range of specialist travel websites. So essentially, if a business doesn't have that important website presence, they're likely to miss out. Let's hear more from the delegates and guest speakers, starting with the Prime Minister. Good morning, Prime Minister. Do you have a very quick word for the travel show as you walk round? Just wondering if you have an upbeat message for the delegates today.
Yes, I do. I think the region has shown strong resilience during this past financial crisis. And now that we are more connected, more integrated, I think there's wonderful opportunities for the tourism industry.
So you're confident that we'll see record numbers of visitors to Thailand this year as you recover from the global economic crisis?
Yes, I do. I think a lot of people were very surprised that last year we registered a growth in the number of visitors, and I think that trend continues. The momentum's there.
Thank you, Prime Minister. The Prime Minister then continued his upbeat message in a speech to about 500 delegates.
For the ASEAN region, tourism is a key industry that employs a large part of the workforce and contributes to the GDP of every country. For Thailand, tourism has been one of our most successful industries, with 15.8 million foreign visitors to Thailand last year, generating 585 billion baht, or 7% of the gross domestic product. This year, we expect to welcome 17 million visitors, and tourism in Thailand is using greener infrastructure. It is culture-friendly and it promotes our heritage to the world, generates income and creates jobs nationwide for our people. And despite the recent challenges of the global economic downturn, the government is committed to ensuring that Thailand remains a peaceful, stable and hospitable country to visit.
Upbeat words from the Prime Minister. The event organiser was also in confident mood.
About 80% of all information that's travel related are sought online. These are research information from various sources, from Google, from Focusrite, but almost 50 to 60% of bookings are done online. So the influence of technology on the travel industry is huge. But where the ASEAN region stands in adopting technology, we're still quite behind. And even though we have a lot of growth prospects in the future, we rely a lot on the Western systems and agents that are out there in the world, but have very little knowledge of producing systems ourselves or utilizing our own websites or various other applications. The world of technology is huge. There are a lot of instruments and tools that can be utilized to add value, add revenue, service for our businesses, because we are a hospitality industry. We need all of those elements to be perfect.
This was an event of huge interest to the tourism industry, as Willem Niemeyer explained.
Well, I think the Asian e-Travel Mart here is, as being the first one, it's very interesting and very important for the travel industry especially in Asia, but I think worldwide. The web is very, very important for travelers worldwide. It's where they do their research, it's where they increasingly do their bookings. You can see it on airlines, they're doing increasingly direct bookings on their website. So for travel companies like mine, it's very important to be on the cutting edge of this technology. So that's why I'm here. I think Thailand in general is doing quite well if you compare to the rest of the region. Internet speed should go up and has to go up. I mean, we are really actively looking at now getting web-based technology for our reservations and CRM. So if we roll this out, we have to roll this out throughout all our companies throughout the region.
We'll be talking shortly to more visitors at this fascinating event in Bangkok. But first, here's the latest news in the world of travel and tourism. AirAsia, the no-frills carrier, is teaming up with Expedia to launch a powerful new joint venture company offering flights, hotels and holiday packages online. It's believed to be the first partnership of its kind between a low-cost airline and an online travel agent. And there's good news on two fronts for the Dusit Hotel Group in Thailand. The Dusit Thani in Bangkok is to stage a major travel awards ceremony later this year. Resident manager Alex Willets explains.
This is actually the Asia and Australasia Regional Awards of the World Travel Awards. The actual main awards will be held in November at the Grosvenor House in London, but we'll be holding the Asia Awards here on the 28th of September. So the great and good of the travel industry, top hoteliers from all over the region will be merging here at the hotel, and we will be the host property for the dinner and the actual awards on the 28th of September.
And Dusit International is opening a second culinary college in the popular Thai coastal city of Pattaya.
So obviously the first one in Bangkok was opened in 1993, and delighted that we've been able to follow that up now in a city like Pattaya. And the reason we chose Pattaya was because of its wealth of international hotels. It is a major destination for leisure and corporate travel as well, and we also have 2 hotels there. So what we're able to do is not only educate the students that will take up a course there, but also be able to take them to our hotels and give them some on-the-job vocational training as well. So that was the reason we chose Pattaya as a location.
Back at the ASEAN Travel Mart, the event attracted local and international delegates, including Bob Christensen from Seattle.
Well, I'm very impressed with what I've seen here today, and I saw that it was coming, and it was the first one, and my company has tours to all of Asia, to all of the ASEAN countries, and I said I want to go and meet people and see what's happening with this new group and this new initiative. Well, I think this is one of the largest markets for the U.S. travelers. It's exotic. There's so much to see. Every country is different. It was mentioned today that you can go here one day and see a totally different culture the next day, and what a nice holiday and adventure that is. I think things will pick up. The economy is stumbling in the U.S. It's quite level. But again, it was mentioned today by one of the people on a panel that travel is not a luxury anymore, it's a necessity of life.
Now, one of the speakers at today's conference is sharing with delegates details of a new online marketplace that has a truly global reach. Here's Vincent Koch from Creative Advances Technology.
Social exchange is a new way for travel agents to connect to one another. So think of it as a business-to-business connectivity platform so that an agent who supplies packages can sell to another agent who's looking for the packages that he supplies. So exchange will provide travel agents with more new inventory, new packages that they perhaps never had before, and therefore their consumers, their customers can get more choices from the existing travel agent. I think one of the things that travel agents need to do and understand is that the internet is not going away, and building a website is not the end of it's not just something that they build and forget. It is something that they have to build and manage and grow. So it's like doing any other business, you have to nurture it. And it's going to take time, and that's something that they have to understand. But they have to do it now.
Join us after the break when we go on the record with Nandika Varavan from Thailand's very own boutique carrier, Bangkok Airways.
Amazing Thailand. Just as amazing as you remember.
Welcome back. Now, the world of aviation is recovering from a major downturn in demand for both business and leisure travel. The banking crisis and the economic recession that followed has had a severe effect on airline operations all around the world. The swine flu pandemic merely added to their problems. In Thailand, political instability and social unrest has also had a major effect on the numbers of visitors expected to come here this year. Now, Asia's very own boutique airline, Bangkok Airways, enjoys a fascinating position, nestling as it does between the giant international carriers such as Thai and Cathay Pacific, and the fast expanding and highly successful no-frills airlines such as AirAsia, Jetstar and Tiger. But can Bangkok Airways really survive in this cutthroat environment? Nandika Varavan, thank you for going on the record. Now, it's the survival of the fittest, isn't it, in the aviation industry? So how can you expect to maintain your niche market position in the face of such stiff competition, particularly from those no-frills carriers?
Well, for Bangkok Airways, we have always maintained our service, our safety record. So I think that's the, to win confidence of our passengers, and the passengers that's already our passengers who've been very loyal to us. They've always been there with us, even though there are other newcomers airline that are there, they're still loyal to us. So I think that's very important, to keep your loyal passengers. There are two types of market, I think now, that the market that only sought out for price. They don't care much about service. The mostly domestic market, that like short distance, so it's like 40 minutes, 45 minutes or an hour. And but there are long haul passengers who comes to Thailand, and they spend money for they already save up their money to come to the holidays, and so to pay a little bit more, and they get the service and no hassles. I think that's the main idea. Now, you started in 1986 as Bangkok Airways, but of course your roots go way back to 1968. But then you rebranded in 2004, didn't you? And you came up with this very attractive and long-lasting tag as Asia's boutique airline. We're kind of people are kind of unsure who's Bangkok Airways, what position we are. Are we low cost, or are we full-fledged service airline? So we looked at our product, and then we thought, okay, what is the most suitable term of market, slogan that can be used for our airline, because it's a time of change at that time, which 7 years ago. So we looked and we thought, okay, boutique is becoming very trendy at that time, the boutique hotels. And we looked at the word boutique, and boutique is like a small specialized business that gives you personalized service, more identity. So we thought, okay, this goes with us because we have a lounge, we have our identity of our aircraft, brand new, and our airports, very boutique. And so we thought, let's use that word. And we changed the whole concept of the airline. The lounges, the look of the lounges, we had to educate our staff to understand what's the meaning of boutique, what is a personalized service. Thai people are very service-minded anyway, but they still, they need to know because we're dealing a lot with foreigners, so multicultural understandings for the staff to understand how to, to service each nationalities differently. It's the best regional airline that first year. Then we realized that our change was successful, and we were quite proud of it. You mentioned awards, and we'll come to that in just a minute. But for now, join us after the break.
Amazing Thailand always amazes you. Why TAN, you ask? Because out of the hundreds of Thai television stations available to viewers, TAN Network is the only network that broadcasts 24 hours in English. News, culture, entertainment, we've got it all. Watch us and you'll see what it's like to have a one-stop center for all the information you need on Thailand. TAN Network, the kingdom's first and only English television station.
Well, now you mentioned a moment ago, Nandi, about awards, and yes, Bangkok Airways picks up a lot of awards, as indeed does Samui Airport. And that brings me on to your plans for Samui. I mean, it's got tremendous potential. It's a very popular destination. You own the airport. Are there any opportunities to expand your services in and out of Samui?
We would love to have more flights. Would bring more revenue to us, but we will restrict it. And even the pricing of the fare and everything, we're all restricted anyway. So, this is very important for consumers to understand that. And for the moment, we're not the only one flying there. There's Thai Airways flying there, and there are other airlines from Malaysia.
One flight a day, I think, with Thai. So
because they have to, still, whenever they want to fly in, they have to go through the, submit their requests through the government as well.
Now, competition and routes. I've sensed in the past that you've possibly shied away from taking on the competition in routes that would appear on paper to offer you some opportunities to build your operation. I'm thinking of Macau, for example. You dipped your toe in the water with the route between Bangkok and Macau. Didn't like the look at the market and the pressure being put on you by Thai, AirAsia, and the national airline in Macau, Air Macau, and you very quickly pulled out again.
Well, Macau it's a big story. It's a very unfortunate timing for Macau. Usually when you fly to a destination to really see whether it's profitable or not, it takes 2 years, It's not just like 6 months. But at that moment of time, the timing was wrong because everything was wrong at that time, in terms of tourism growth and statistics-wise and happenings in the world.
So possibly it was the right route, but at the wrong time. In which case, I must put it to you, are you going to consider returning to a destination like...
Actually, it would have worked if we stayed longer, because many people were coming back and saying, oh, would you fly to Macau again, because they love our service. And but in reality, it's not about that. In reality now, it's about numbers.
A destination closer to home, Krabi. There are calls now from the tourism authorities down in Krabi for more flights with more attractive fares. Now, you service Krabi. Are you going to answer their call?
We're actually flying to Krabi. We're flying from Samui to Krabi. We had many times flew to Krabi, but it just didn't work. We just tried many, many times. We cannot just satisfy everybody. Everybody, they like us to fly, but we have to really look, firstly, the numbers, the competitors, and whether it's a right timing for us to go in or not.
Okay. Now, through your subsidiary, the Bangkok Travel Club, you offer very exciting range of packages, don't you? For food, golf, culture. I was curious to be reading about one recently where you took your passengers to Myanmar with a famed fortune teller that's resident here in Bangkok. This was essentially, I believe, a merit-making trip to Burma. I mean, was that popular? And are you planning to do more of that type of very specialist tour program?
Well, the Bangkok Travel Club is an affiliated tour, like a tour agency that we serve our clients, not only to use our airline, but other airlines. But this particular tour is with Ajahn Gatha. He's very popular, not as a fortune teller, but the trip is not for fortune telling. It's to go there and merit making and to understand more about Buddhism, the religion, and the historical sites of that destination.
And finally, if I were to approach this gentleman, this fortune teller, and ask him to give me a prediction about the fortunes of Bangkok Airways, what do you think he would tell me?
Of course he would say it's wonderful. Yeah.
Nandika Varavan, thank you for going on the record. My thanks to Nandika Varavan. After the break, we head to Pattaya and explore the lost world at one of the city's major five-star resorts. Stay with us.
New challenges, new hopes, new era, new channel. Thai ASEAN News Network.
Now, you could be forgiven for thinking that I'm on the set of a Hollywood movie, but in fact I'm at the Lost World, an integral and fascinating part of the Sentara Grand Mirage. Some distance away from the well-documented nightlife of this very well-known town on Thailand's eastern seaboard. All 555 rooms and suites here enjoy an ocean view, and that means every single guest, and at the moment we've got about 1,200 guests staying here, can enjoy the sometimes spectacular sunsets that are witnessed here in Pattaya. Now, joining me is the hotel's general manager.
Good morning.
Good morning, Andrew. Now, I'm fascinated to know, what was the inspiration behind the Lost World?
The inspiration came from a storyline that was written for Konsudikat many years ago, and whereby a pilot flying an old propelled plane crashed in an Asian jungle, disorientated, not knowing where he was, injured. He then fell into a, how would you describe, almost like a coma, was dreaming about finding this lost civilization, being faced with white tigers. The next minute he woke up and in a hospital where he was rescued by a tribe. He documented this in a little diary, then returned back to America, lived the whole of his life not saying anything to anybody.
Yeah.
And upon his death, upon his moving on from this world, his family, his sons, discovered this diary.
Now, we've just crossed a bridge, and I think we've just crossed the Lazy River, is that right?
We certainly have.
Tell me a little bit more about the Lazy River. Is it something that you can swim in? Can you swim from the start to the finish?
You certainly can. By its name, it's called a lazy river. Different from perhaps a rapids, you know, where it thrusts you around. Where you can catch a tube tyre, you can grab a tube tyre, you can then meander through 260 plus metres of lazy river, just meandering through. You can either do it by tube or you can do it by swimming or walking, where it'll gently move you all the way through caves with stalagmites and stalactites, with waterfalls, or if you want to stop at the other end where there are beautiful little salas with water spa.
It must cost you a lot to maintain this though, surely?
Oh, it does, yes.
And is there a lot of technology involved?
There is a lot of technology involved in terms of, you can probably appreciate, we have 5 different sorts of swimming pools here where we all have, while we negotiate some water, we have a huge body of water to which we need to maintain. You know, you have to maintain the pH levels and keep it clean, keep it safe. On top of that, we also have, we have a team of 56 pool attendants to monitor, to keep an eye on people, to make sure that the environment is safe for them.
Adrian, Thailand is really benefiting now from a boom in health and well-being tourism. And you've got a spa here, of course, the spa
Certainly do, yes.
Does that play a big part in the lives of your guests while they're here? And in fact, do some people come here because you've got the spa? Is that really what they're looking for?
We do. We have we've managed to create a niche market in that, because we blend not only the spa treatments, which we have a huge array of them, but incorporating things like yoga. We have a yoga master here we've employed. We have an open yoga master which does everything from hot yoga to Anthara yoga, which is the most probably sought after type of yoga available on the market at the moment. Combining that with the well-being in terms of dietary issues, etc. So we combine all of that together, and again, we've managed to carve out a little niche market there for people.
Now, hot yoga to me sounds absolutely excruciatingly painful and uncomfortable. This is where they put you in a very, very hot room, isn't it?
That's exactly
right.
And expect you to do all of the cobra poses and down dog and all sorts of things. So.
And I take it you have a doctor and a nurse on standby for those guests who maybe have pushed themselves that little bit too far.
Absolutely, yes, we do.
Right, Adrian, we've taken some respite from the morning sun here in Pattaya, and we're now at Oceans, the bar. I know you've got a barbecue restaurant upstairs, and I think you can get snacks and drinks here during the course of the day. I mean, quite clearly from walking around, I mean, there's something here for guests of all ages. Yes. And I said, whether they're here on business or taking that well-earned holiday. Have you got any other plans, any future plans for development? Is there anything else that you can do here that you want to do?
There are some aspects of our operation here that we would like to fine-tune. Obviously, sometimes when you put your best laid plans, that when you start to then see it in an operation, you think, oh, you think, well, I can improve in that aspect, I can improve in that aspect.
Adrian, it's been a pleasure talking to you this morning. Thank you very much indeed.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Well, that's it for our first program in this new series of the Travel Show. I hope you've enjoyed it. My thanks to Nandika Varavan at Bangkok Airways, Adrian Brown and all his colleagues at Centaur Hotels and Resorts, and of course, all our guests here at the ASEAN e-Travel Mart in Bangkok, including the Prime Minister. Join us at the same time next week when we'll be bringing you much more news about travel and tourism in Thailand and the ASEAN region. So from all of us on the Travel Show, it's goodbye.